Hi, everybody. It's good to be with you again. William Blake, the English painter, poet, and printmaker, once asked his readers to imagine, let's just say you're watching the sunrise. If someone asks you, don't you see a round disk of fire around the size of a guinea? You must reply, no, no. I see the innumerable company of the heavenly host crying, holy, holy, holy is the Lord God Almighty. Now, just notice, Blake isn't saying that we don't have the purely optical perception of a round flaming disk around the size of a guinea. What he's saying is that there's more to sight than what we see with our eyes. There's sight, which is what we see with our eyes, and then there's vision, which is what we see with our souls. And Blake goes on to nail it even more definitively. He says, I don't rely on my physical eye to see reality any more than I would rely on a window to tell me what I see through the window. The eye is the portal to reality, not the reality itself. In order to see reality, you need vision. And vision involves parts of you you're not used to relying on, the most important of which is imagination. Now, this is where things get even more complicated because when I use the word imagination, I don't mean it in the modern sense as a sort of cute, fanciful faculty we kind of admire, but in a covertly condescending way. Like, oh, isn't your daughter inventive? She has 3 imaginary friends and she talks to them. Long before we reduced imagination to mere fantasy, it actually meant something much more profound. Samuel Taylor Coleridge, who was an English romantic poet, but much more so a philosopher and a theologian, defined imagination as the part of consciousness that sees reality as God intended it, and in doing so, co-creates reality with God. Let me say that one more time because it's pretty mind-bending. Imagination sees reality the way God intended it to be seen. And in seeing reality that way, imagination participates with God in the ongoing, evolving act of creation. When we use our imagination, we become partners in the creation of a shared vision, co-created by God and humankind. Human perception is not passive. It is a living power that shapes reality even as it sees reality. Now, all of this can seem hopelessly theoretical, and I apologize for that. So let's put it into action. Just try this. Take something, anything, a piece of art, a piece of music, a tree on your street, the sound of children laughing in a playground, anything that calls to you. Whatever you choose, experience it. Drink it in as deeply as you can. Don't think, don't analyze. Instead, let your imagination play with it, shape it, form associations from it. Take the work of art or nature you're witnessing and let it flow into whatever it wants to flow into. There's a particular piece of music I do this with all the time. It's Johann Sebastian Bach's Orchestral Suite number 4 in D major. Every time I listen to that piece, I see the sun rising in all its majestic glory. And I am awed and humbled by the fact that the sun lights up everything and makes everything visible, but is so blindingly bright that we can't look at it directly. It is unseeable, but through its light, everything else becomes visible, which makes it a lot like God, a source we can't see directly, but through whose light we gain vision. Thanks again for listening. See you again soon.